All right, Bryan Mbeumo to Man United optimism is on the high, and you're obviously gonna be let known. Why is it on a high? Tom Heaton contract obviously has been really extended for a certain period of time that you are yet to know, and the list of players that the manager really wants out is now there, up, and I'm obviously going to be letting you know who should go and who should leave. Sorry, who should really stay, according to what we think is going on at the club of Manchester United. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and continue to subscribe because you know that you want to hit that magic number in a nick of time. Now, where should we start from? Matt Law, tier 1 journalist. I repeat it, tier 1 journalist from England. And Matt Law is a correspondent for the Daily Telegraph, and he has told us that Man United are optimistic about clinching the signing of Bryan Mbeumo despite late interest from Spurs. Now, Man United optimism is really increasing. This comes in through after yesterday United went ahead to obviously make another offer to the side of Brentford, and Brentford are still evaluating their offer, though they want a £70 million release fee from the club of Manchester United. That's the amount of money that is being asked from the side of Brentford. And for Manchester United, they're like, however much Spurs is queuing up for the player, and I've got to hate to hear that even Aston Villa is queuing up for the player, United is optimistic that this deal is obviously going to be happening because Andre Onana has been doing a very good role in as far as being the middleman for this deal to happen is concerned, and that's why very many people are like, maybe he's not obviously going to be leaving the club of Manchester United. Reason being, if he was used to obviously convince Mbeumo to come to Manchester United, then Mbeumo should obviously be there with a player known as Andre Onana. That is it. That's what you're really getting in through from what is really happening at the club of Manchester United. So, as it stands, the club of Manchester United is not afraid. That's why they're really taking their time. And by the way, when you look at how United is obviously doing this, it shows you that they have assurance from the player, and the player has told them that, take your time, I'll sign for you. That's how United is really acting. Because if United were really feeling the pressure from Spurs, I don't think they would have gone ahead to dilly-dally around. And that is it. But they're taking their time. They're negotiating with Brentford. However much we are left with a week for these players to return at Old Trafford, I tell you what, it is not business as usual for Manchester United. They're really dilly-dallying, and I think there is a video I'm obviously going to be doing concerning the fixtures of Man United that we are really put out and what we think about it, because if our manager isn't backed enough before the start of the season, I see him also being in the same situation like what Erik ten Hag was in, and fans will be like, you sacked Erik ten Hag after he went ahead to lose those points in 8 games, and why aren't you really sacking this manager too? I know those fans are already there because the Amorim out is already there. You understand? So that's what you're really having in through from the side of Manchester United. But Mbeumo to Man United, they are highly anticipative that the deal will obviously have to happen. That's what you're getting from the club of Manchester United. And Matt Law, a very correspondive journalist who is ranked tier 1. Now, we leave Mbeumo there. United, very optimistic. I don't know what your thoughts are about Bryan Mbeumo. Are you really optimistic that he's coming anytime from now? All his here we go is yet to be announced? all that into the comment section below. Now, the manager of Manchester United is like, these 4 players should leave and face the exit door at the club of Manchester United. And what are those players? Those players include Ruben Amorim to axe Alejandro Garnacho, Marcus Rashford, Antony and Jadon Sancho from Manchester United's preseason tour of the US. Now, for these players, he doesn't want them to be on the preseason. And I think this will be very harsh. That is it. Because it's like you are showing the teams that really do need them that you no longer need them. And they can pay however little they want to take these players. I don't think that that's what Man United really wants. I think if you are the club of Manchester United, you would go with Sancho, Garnacho, Antony, and Marcus Rashford with you for the preseason, such that the more they really shine up in the preseason, the more teams will be like, we need to act soon, because if these players continue to really put in the shift, maybe these teams might obviously change their mind, And for Sancho is one of those that I really look at and really anticipate that in the number 10 position at the club of Manchester United, he will really look deadly, provided the manager understands to get the best of football from him. I tell you that. For Marcus Rashford, I think before we even travel, we'll be having some 2 weeks, of really playing, of really training around, and maybe the Barcelona deal will obviously be seen through. For Antony, I know he wants to leave because he has felt he's worth the club of Manchester United, and he got his lifeline again when he was playing for Real Betis. For Alejandro Garnacho, they want him out, but the price tag on him, 60 to 70 million pounds, I think it's not much, because if Florian Wirtz has gone in for 116 million pounds, you understand, then I think it's 130 million pounds. That means for Manchester United, they can get some 60 to 70 million pounds for Alejandro Garnacho. So those 4 players, it's rumored that the manager doesn't want them to be onto the the tour. But I think you have to keep them on the tour to keep the fitness and to keep sending a message to all those that need them that even if they don't come in for them now, they are the ones losing, not Man United, because these players are really shining. The bit of the preseason is that for the first 2-3 games, you have to play a player they will share minutes in there, and the manager might be using 2 teams altogether. That is it. After that, Team Heaton has obviously been granted a new contract as, I think, a 3rd choice goalkeeper. Tom Heaton, new deal at Man United has been agreed and sealed, done deal. It will be valid until June 2026, meaning that he's still here for 1 more year. Man United and the goalkeeping department, they haven't gone ahead to really do the needful to meet the standard procedure, with having goalkeepers that can be really here for some time. But for Tom Heaton, I think with his age, he's very comfortable of being a 3rd choice goalkeeper, and Atil Beindir, Onana ahead of him. That is it. So we wish him the best, and he's a homeboy for the club of Manchester United. He came through from the academy and he returned and made his debut, by the way, after all that long time that he was waiting for such to happen. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Your thoughts on Mbeumo Optimism to Man United on the high. What do you think about that? And then tell me your thoughts about a side known as Amorim not taking Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho, and Antony to the preseason. That is rumored by The Sun, but you can't really rely on The Sun when it comes to such deals. So we out. Bye bye, and continue to subscribe to see that we hit that magic number of 21,000 subscribers in a nick of time. Bye bye, and those going to bed, good night, but you're still having more videos loading.